The Gulf of Oman is a crucial maritime highway in the Middle East, a vital artery for global trade and energy. Its strategic location makes it an indispensable waterway for numerous nations, connecting the Arabian Sea to the narrow Strait of Hormuz, a choke point of immense geopolitical significance. This narrow passage is the gateway to the Persian Gulf, and beyond that, the Persian Gulf, a region brimming with oil and gas resources. The Gulf of Oman acts as a crucial buffer zone, linking these vital areas. This region is the lifeline for global oil shipments, with tankers constantly traversing its waters, carrying precious cargo to destinations around the world. With countries like Saudi Arabia, a major player in the global energy market, heavily reliant on these sea lanes for its exports. The UAE, a hub for trade and commerce, also depends on the Gulf of Oman for its economic prosperity. Its ports are bustling with activity, facilitating the movement of goods and resources, and Iran relying on these waters to export energy to the world, making it a key stakeholder in the region's stability. The Gulf is essential for Iran's economic survival. The U.S. Navy maintains a strong presence here, a constant reminder of America's strategic interests in the region. To protect shipping lanes and ensure the uninterrupted flow of oil, a mission that is vital for global economic stability. These patrols are a key element of maritime security. Iran, with its long coastline, sees the Gulf as its strategic backyard, a vital area for its national security and regional influence. Patrolled by its navy, which is constantly working to assert its presence and protect its interests in these contested waters, and the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy, adding another layer of complexity to the security landscape. The IRGC Navy operates with a high degree of autonomy. U.S. and Iranian forces often operate in close proximity, a situation that inevitably leads to tense encounters and the risk of miscalculation, creating a tense environment where misunderstandings can quickly escalate, potentially triggering a larger conflict. The stakes are incredibly high in these interactions. Imagine two powerful vehicles racing down a narrow road, a metaphor that perfectly captures the inherent dangers of naval operations in the Gulf of Oman. One wrong move could trigger disaster, with potentially catastrophic consequences for the region and the world. Over the years, both sides have accused each other of unsafe actions, including aggressive maneuvers and harassment of vessels, making every encounter a potential flashpoint, a moment that could ignite a wider conflict. The risk of escalation is ever present. The latest incident between a U.S. Navy ship and an Iranian helicopter serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing tensions in the Gulf. Is just the newest chapter in this ongoing story, a narrative filled with mistrust and the potential for conflict. It highlights how a routine day at sea, filled with ordinary patrols and standard operating procedures, can suddenly become an international headline, capturing the attention of the world and raising concerns about regional stability. The stakes are high. The potential consequences of miscalculation or escalation are significant. Global security, energy supplies, and the fragile balance of power in a volatile region are all at risk. The world's economy is intrinsically linked to the stability of this waterway. This is more than a military standoff. It's a complex geopolitical challenge with far-reaching implications. It's about keeping peace in a place where tensions are always simmering, where historical grievances and competing interests constantly threaten to boil over. The world watches closely, aware of the potential for a major crisis to erupt in this critical region, knowing that even a small mistake here could have far-reaching consequences, triggering a domino effect that could destabilize the entire region and beyond. Understanding the Gulf of Oman's importance is crucial for comprehending the complexities of Middle Eastern geopolitics, helps explain why every incident matters, why even seemingly minor encounters can have significant repercussions. In this region, where the stakes are always high and the potential for conflict is ever present, geography, power, and diplomacy collide on the open sea, shaping the future of the Middle East and the world. The Gulf of Oman, a vital artery connecting the Indian Ocean to the Strait of Hormuz, is a crowded stage. Its strategic importance makes it a focal point for maritime activity. This bustling waterway serves as a critical route for both commercial and military activity, with countless ships traversing its waters daily. The U.S. Navy maintains a strong presence here with warships including the USS Essex, a powerful amphibious assault ship frequently operating in the area. These vessels regularly patrol these waters, ensuring a constant watch over this crucial maritime domain. Their mission is to ensure freedom of navigation for all vessels and to provide support and reassurance to allies in the region. On the other side, Iran's Navy and the IRGC Navy are equally active, asserting their presence in what they consider their backyard. They view these waters as vital to their national defense, a strategic area that demands constant vigilance and control. The IRGC Navy, in particular, is known for its fleet of fast boats and its strategy of conducting close patrols. These tactics often involve bringing their vessels into close proximity with foreign ships, including those of the U.S. Navy. For the U.S., their presence is fundamentally about maintaining stability and ensuring the safe passage of commercial shipping. But for Iran, it's primarily about asserting sovereignty over what they consider their territorial waters and protecting their national interests. These fundamentally conflicting perspectives inevitably set the scene for frequent and potentially tense encounters between the two navies. Both sides operate under their own distinct rules of engagement and interpretations of maritime law, which often leads to very different interpretations of the same event, further complicating the already delicate situation. A recent incident, for example, involved the USS Essex, a large amphibious assault ship conducting routine operations in international waters. Simultaneously, an Iranian naval helicopter was on patrol in the same vicinity, monitoring the activity in the area. In this scenario, each side naturally viewed the other as a potential threat, leading to heightened alertness and careful monitoring. In such a strategically vital and incredibly crowded waterway, where numerous vessels from various nations are constantly transiting, even seemingly routine operations can quickly escalate and become high-stakes confrontations, demanding careful management and communication. The stage was set for yet another test of nerves, demanding the utmost professionalism from the sailors and officers on both sides. In the Gulf of Oman, every move is meticulously watched and scrutinized. And in this complex geopolitical environment, every encounter, no matter how small, ultimately matters. On July 21, 2025, under a clear sky, the USS Essex, a vital part of the U.S. Navy's fleet, was conducting a routine patrol in international waters. The vast expanse of the ocean stretched around the vessel as it carried out its mission, ensuring maritime security and freedom of navigation. Suddenly, breaking the monotony of the open sea, an Iranian military helicopter appeared on the horizon, flying with purpose and a direct trajectory toward the ship. Its approach immediately raised concerns among the crew. Standard protocol demanded communication, so the U.S. crew attempted to contact the helicopter via radio, but frustratingly, they received no response. The silence amplified the tension. The helicopter continued its approach, closing in rapidly, coming within just 25 yards of the Essex, a distance that felt incredibly close given the circumstances. That's closer than the entire length of a basketball court, a mere stone's throw in naval terms. For the sailors on deck, this was an undeniably tense moment. Every second felt like an eternity. Years of training kicked in, and they maintained focus, calmly monitoring the aircraft's every move, ready to respond if necessary. The helicopter circled the ship not just once, but multiple times, each pass adding to the unease. Its powerful rotors whipped up a frenzy of wind and noise on the deck, a physical reminder of its proximity. Despite the unnerving close approach and the lack of communication, the Essex crew demonstrated remarkable discipline, holding their positions and choosing not to escalate the situation. After what felt like an eternity of tense minutes, with the world seemingly holding its breath, the Iranian helicopter finally turned away, breaking the unsettling pattern. It banked sharply and disappeared rapidly toward the distant coastline. The immediate incident was over, leaving a sense of relief washing over the crew. But the questions lingered, hanging heavy in the air. Was this a deliberate act of provocation, a calculated test of the U.S. Navy's resolve, or simply a routine surveillance mission gone awry? For the crew of the Essex, it was a stark and unsettling reminder of just how quickly the situation can escalate and things can change in the unpredictable environment of the open sea. In these strategically vital waters where tensions often simmer beneath the surface, even a seemingly minor flyby incident can quickly escalate and become a global news story with far-reaching implications. Throughout the encounter, the USS Essex crew followed strict protocols to avoid escalation. They attempted radio contact, maintained a steady course, and kept the ship's defenses on standby, ready but not aggressive. The crew used advanced sensors and binoculars to track the helicopter's every move. No weapons were aimed, no warning shots fired, the response was one of calm vigilance. The ship's alert level was raised, but the focus remained on de-escalation. After the helicopter departed, the crew meticulously documented the incident for official reports. Their actions reflected a commitment to professionalism and safety, even under pressure. The Essex's approach sent a clear message, prepared to defend but not seeking conflict. In tense waters, restraint can be as powerful as force. From Iran's perspective, the helicopter's flight was routine surveillance over its own backyard. Iranian officials described the mission as standard, asserting their right to monitor foreign warships near their coast. They rejected U.S. claims of unsafe behavior, insisting their pilots were in full control. For Iran, such patrols are a demonstration of sovereignty and vigilance. The presence of the USS Essex was seen as the real provocation. In Iranian eyes, their forces were simply doing their job, defending their territory. The U.S. response was swift. The Pentagon condemned the Iranian helicopter's actions as unsafe and unprofessional. Operating so close without communication, they argued, risked a dangerous miscalculation. The U.S. emphasized that the Essex was in international waters, acting within its rights. The lack of radio response was seen as a deliberate provocation. The U.S. called on Iran to follow international safety standards and warned that such incidents could easily spiral out of control. The message was clear. Professionalism and communication are essential to avoid conflict. In this high-stakes environment, even a single misstep can have serious consequences. The incident was reported very differently in the U.S. and Iran. American media highlighted the danger and restraint shown by the Essex crew, framing Iran as the aggressor. News footage showed the helicopter's close approach, emphasizing the risk. In Iran, state media celebrated the mission as a show of strength and sovereignty. Their coverage portrayed the helicopter crew as heroes, defending national interests. Each side used the incident to reinforce its own narrative and rally public opinion. The same facts became two opposite stories, one about provocation, the other about defense. Media coverage shaped how millions understood the event. In the information war, perception is as important as reality. This was not the first tense encounter between U.S. and Iranian forces in these waters. For decades, the Gulf of Oman and Persian Gulf have been flashpoints for rivalry and mistrust. Incidents spike during periods of political tension, reflecting deeper diplomatic rifts. From the 1980s tanker wars to recent drone shootdowns, each event adds to a long history of close calls. Both sides use these encounters to send messages of defiance, resolve, or deterrence. Years of mistrust shape every new incident, making miscalculation a constant risk. The danger. One day, a routine patrol could spiral into crisis. In these waters, history is always close at hand. Why does a single encounter matter? Because the Gulf of Oman is a global artery. Any disruption can shake the world economy. This incident exposes the fragility of peace in a region where misunderstandings can quickly escalate. The U.S. and Iran's conflicting narratives reveal a deep communication gap. Without clear rules and reliable channels, the risk of accidental conflict remains high. Even a minor clash could disrupt oil flows and trigger wider instability. The lesson diplomacy and de-escalation are urgently needed. Building trust and communication is difficult, but essential for safety. The story of the Essex and the Iranian helicopter is a warning, and a call for vigilance. In the Gulf of Oman, peace is fragile, and every encounter matters. The world depends on stability here. The responsibility to maintain it is shared by all.